Hi, I'm Wes Olszewski, author, and welcome to another episode of Ghost Ship Scales and Forgotten Tales. These are the plans for the Whaleback passenger steamer Christopher Columbus, and we're going to look at her right now up close and very, very personal. 1893, the Chicago World's Fair, May 1st through October 30th. More than 27 million people attended. They saw amazing things, from the moving sidewalk to the Ferris wheel, and were introduced to juicy fruit gum, cream of wheat, the brownie, Quaker oats, hot dogs, and Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Everyone was welcome, and the cost was just 50 cents. With the fair in mind, Alexander McDougall met with the fair committee and pitched a concept for a fantastic whaleback passenger boat. She'd be 500 feet long and able to load 5,000 passengers in just 5 minutes. He would launch her in just 3 months. He met the 3-month deadline, but what they got was not a 500-foot behemoth, but a 362-foot whaleback. Still, she was the largest boat in the lakes when she was launched on December 3rd, 1892. She was christened the Christopher Columbus. Arriving at the fair just before 1 p.m. on May 19, 1893, the Columbus quickly became a wonder. 101 years later, I visited the Canal Park Museum and was given copies of her shipyard drawings. Let's take a tour. We'll start with her stern in turret number 7, because it's the most fun. Boarding passengers would use the stairway in turret 7 to go to the upper deck, or to go down. Most of the turrets were simply stairway enclosures. Down on the boarding deck, we find this. It's the men's room. Where's the ladies' room, you may ask? It's here, aft on the main deck. Let's look down into it. As you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potty seats. And 1, 2, 3 vanities, plus 1, 2 wash basins, all to accommodate as many as 2,500 ladies. Of course, their trip on the Columbus would last a maximum of 1 hour. The Grande Saloon was an unobstructed 287-foot-long open space. There were no staterooms. The carpet was dark blue. I used light blue here for clarity. Lounge couches covered in rich Turkish leather were placed below the huge windows, as well as beside the stairway. Comfortable chairs, lounges, and even a love seat were provided. One unique feature is a series of aquariums. These contained assorted species of fish, all native to the Great Lakes. 4 ottomans were also provided to take the load off one's feet after a long day at the fair. There was even a piano. Now we'll look at turret number 6. Notice not just the stairway, but this. It is one of the side ports through which the passengers boarded the boat. Once through the side port, they went up through the turret to the Grande Saloon and were met by the plush furnishings. Most striking was the crystal skylight that topped the stairway. Also note the electric lights. The Columbus was one of few lakers to be totally electrically illuminated at that time. Turret number 5 housed the triple expansion steam engine for the Columbus, and turret 4 concealed her smokestack. The engine provided 3,040 horsepower and could propel her at an astounding 20 miles per hour. Up in the Grande Saloon, the passengers had no idea what they were lounging upon. The piano was a handy distraction. Turrets 3 and 2 not only supported the saloon deck, but also the officers' quarters. Let's take the skin off and have a look. There. Again, we see the boarding side ports and the stairways. Notice that turret 2 has its own crystal skylight, as well as a crystal chandelier. Below is the saloon deck with an abundance of windows. Here are the officers' bunk beds. Here's an overhead view. This is the engineer's room, with its bed and wash basin. Here is the third and second mate's room, with its bunk beds and wash basin. This is the first mate's room, with its fold-down bed and wash basin. The captain, of course, gets half of the deck, as per tradition. He has a fold-down bed, a wash basin, a desk chair, a comfy chair, a couch, a desk, a table, and a closet. It's good to be the captain. And last but not least, the pilot house. Now you may be asking, where's the rest of the crew quarters and the bathroom and so on? Turn on our X-ray vision and we see it's right here under turret number 1. One thing not in the drawings is any sort of crew galley. It's not under turret number 1 because there are no stove vents. I don't know where it is. During the fair, the Columbus carried more than 1 million passengers between May 28th and October 30th, 1893. The boat was a sensation, and it didn't cost anything extra to ride on her. Your 50 cents admission covered the ride, all 6 miles of it, from downtown Chicago to Jackson Park. After the fair, she went into regular passenger service, sailing between Chicago and Milwaukee. During the winter of 1899 and 1900, her decks were remodeled and staterooms were added. She sailed until the beginning of the Great Depression. She was scrapped in 1936. Most people, however, think of her in the glory days, taking thousands of folks to see the wonders of the World's Fair. She was, in fact, one of the wonders herself.